My late ex-husband had a secret affair, baby, and I want to expose him now that he's dead. Am I the a-hole? My 43 ex-husband, Duke, 54, and I divorced because he habitually cheated on me.
Dang. Habitually. There's some sadness behind that word right there.
Fair. Painful. We were divorced a little over 2 years when he passed away in a motorcycle accident. I paid for his funeral because of my daughter, 15, and despite everything, he was her father, and I didn't want the state to bury him.
Does the state bury you?
I guess I didn't know that. I guess so. Yeah, Riley, I'd be curious to see that. I never knew that.
So they just cremate.
Yeah, I mean that makes. I never knew that.
What do they do with the ashes?
Here we go.
I feel like we're about to just reveal something super sad.
Yeah, this is a not fun rabbit hole maybe to go down. You don't want bodies just lying around. So that's actually a good government service. I had no idea
that happened.
Wow,
yeah.
we learned so much on this show. It's really truly incredible. Thanks for learning with us guys
Riley.
here today. Yeah, Riley educating us out here. So this was 4 months ago, and my daughter is now doing well. I applied for survivor's benefits for her shortly after his funeral and have been receiving monthly payments. I'm at least glad to hear that, small silver lining there. Yesterday, I received a phone call from my caseworker at the Social Security office informing me that a woman called claiming that she had a 3-year-old son by my ex-husband.
Oh, and she's coming for that money.
She's coming for the money.
Which, understandable.
I wonder, we still don't know yet. Does this woman even know that he was married? What if he lied to her? He's like, "Oh, you're my family."
How old is it? How old is the kid?
3-year-old kid.
Okay, so then that means they broke up 2 years ago.
Oh, yes. So
there was an overlapping of a year. Is that true?
That's the question. Yeah, and that was the kid was born.
Oh, actually 4. So you
4
need some
years.
baby making time. So
exactly
9 months before that.
So they were at least boinking 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
habitually.
There was definitely he definitely
Emphasis
was cheating
on the.
Yeah. Good gravy. Now, however, the woman had no proof that this boy is actually my ex-husband's son.
And there's no DNA.
Not signed on the birth certificate and no DNA test.
Ooh.
Nothing. So here's the question. Do you get the DNA test at this point?
Can you? If there's no body, is it burned?
You know what you could probably do?
Dig up the grave.
If there's other, I mean, maybe. Riley, can you look that up real quick?
Can you dig up a grave?
Siblings?
You're trying to see. Oh yeah,
OP has another kid. So if
true.
they prove that they're like half
that's true.
siblings, then that's.
I love how the first thing was like, can you dig up a grave?
Which, I mean, that is one path, but yeah, probably like.
Exhuming a grave for a DNA test is possible.
Whoa!
But subject to strict legal processes.
Yeah.
So.
You can't just go and just dig up a grave. Yeah. So the caseworker asked me if I was willing to allow my daughter to do a DNA test to prove the child's paternity. What do you think? What do you think the mom's going to say?
No.
I refused. I did the math, and this child was definitely conceived while my ex and I were still married. Furthermore, at the time of conception, I had gone through a very traumatic hysterectomy, which is removing the uterus so you can't have children anymore, with major setbacks that nearly killed me. I suspect I know who this woman is, and she definitely knew my ex-husband and I were still married. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing by refusing, but I was humiliated enough. But my ex when he was alive, and I feel even more embarrassed now.
So the question OP is asking is, am I the a-hole for basically saying no to the DNA test?
Yeah.
And essentially robbing this mother, and robbing is too harsh of a word, but I'm going to use it anyway.
Yes.
Robbing this mother of the financial security provided by the guy that impregnated her, right? So like OP's fairly certain that this child is her ex-husband's biological child. And she is saying, you do not deserve financial support because you cheated.
Yeah.
You were his affair partner. And I want to know what all of you think.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
please.
I want to know what you all really think, the real answers to this question. But we'll do with John's answer for the one time being.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get to the real answers later. But for now, here's my BS response. While OP maybe is the a-hole, and I guess I'll say the a-hole just to have an answer. I totally understand her response. The gut reaction is like, F you.
Yeah.
You cheated on my husband.
Yeah.
Or cheated, you cheated. So it's like, I totally understand her gut reaction.
You were the thing that my husband was cheating on me with.
And you knew.
That's
what OP said.
And you knew.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
If it was just punishing the affair partner, then it would be like deserved, not the a-hole, makes sense. The thing is, it's punishing the kid too.
Innocent kid.
I would love to know what all of you think. You guys might chew us out in the comments, as you do sometimes.
That's right.
Hey, sometimes we deserve it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sam, but John loves it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what can I do to change it? John's like, bring it on.
I love the hate.
Can I do a quick conspiracy?
Please. Here we go. 10 hats, everybody. Boom.
I think there could be a scenario where the affair partner secretly goes directly to the kid because the kid is the DNA that she needs, which would be fucked up.
Super.
But I think that could be what happens.
You're right. And they're like 15 or whatever. So do you go and be like, hey, don't do this to my baby. Like, let me do whatever.
Yeah. Come to her at like high school or something.
We have an update. About a month after I found out about this little boy, I did intend to tell my daughter, who is now 17, by the way.
Okay.
Which also like quickly approaching legal adulthood too. So that maybe throws another wrench.
Which maybe the affair partner could legally require the kid to DNA test at 18, potentially.
Goodness gracious. She was shocked, as you can imagine, and very hurt by her dad's actions. I explained to her the full situation, and she didn't want to do it then. So the daughter's basically refusing to do the DNA test at this point. She said that she needed time, so that's what I gave her. Incidentally, she has been in therapy since before, during, and after the divorce. He, the father, and her were never close because he had a kids are to be seen and not heard mentality, which caused a lot of problems even when we were still together.
That's effed.
Terrible.
But I mean, that's old school. That's how it was.
Super old school, toxic mindset. The woman who had an affair with my husband was a work colleague / friend. We all worked together at the same place. Oh. That is awful.
Brutal.
Awful. We both still work there, just in different areas. They're still working at the same company. Oh my God. After I got the call from my caseworker, several mutual acquaintances approached me and told me that she wanted to sit down and talk with me about her problem. I thought about that for a few days and ultimately decided to meet up with her.
I think that's an empathetic move.
We met at a coffee shop by our job on a Saturday. What if they literally just got in a conference room?
Yeah.
They're like, all right, let's just reserve the conference room between our desks. She told me that she and my ex started out as friends at first. He would give her advice on how to deal with her other 2 kids' father.
Oh, geez.
She said it very quickly turned into flirting and hanging out and eventually a full-on affair. By this time, he's telling her I was getting suspicious that something was going on and she was already pregnant.
Why don't you just wear protection, man?
People are crazy.
Dude, it's not as fun for them.
Yeah. Probably was like,
Riley.
The affair partner had told him about the pregnancy and he told her that he wouldn't be leaving me, but he would assist her with whatever the child needed. She was hurt and angry, but stuck with the situation as she was already struggling with 2 kids that she had and she needed the help. She went on to say that he was very much in love with me and that she was jealous of me for having him. Oh, what a effed situation.
Yeah, that guy's like just hurting people on both sides.
Literally awful. Not one time was this woman remorseful. No apologies, nothing. I asked her, did she even care what their affair did to my daughter? And she replied, no, because she had enough on her plate with her own children. And quite frankly, she didn't care about mine. Well, if you don't care about my children,
I don't care about
yours. I mean, why not even just
Yeah.
Just lie.
I feel like after that confession, OP is going to be like, I don't care about your kid either.
Likewise.
Likewise.
That's word for word, by the way.
Wow.
Wow. But at this point, I told her that I have informed my daughter about her son, and she is currently not interested in participating in this scenario, aka doing the DNA test to help, the affair baby get some bread. She got outraged by that, telling me that I have to make my daughter do this.
I mean, no.
That she is only part-time at our work and her kids cannot survive on her income alone. I told her that she was a biatch. That if she felt even a little bit of guilt, I might have been able to talk my daughter around, but her lack of respect for my daughter's feelings is why I won't. I left her there yelling at me as I walked away to my car. She has since quit working at our job.
Wow.
So now she doesn't even have the part-time income.
Why would she do that?
What if, going back into conspiracy mode, tinfoil idea, they both work at the same job? Rumors spread.
But I can't imagine that the rumor hasn't already spread at this point, right?
That's a good point.
Like, I would assume that everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe the water cooler talk, it spreads fast.
OP probably has some other she has lots of friends at work, like she mentioned multiple times.
Yeah, they exist in the same circles. There's no way the whole company doesn't know a little bit of what's going on.
Why aren't you inviting Stacy to drinks after work? Well,
because she slept with my dead husband
and has a baby and hates my kids.
Well, is that enough reason, Sharon?
Come on. Wow. But that's my tinfoil. So we'll see. Over the past year, I have addressed the situation with my daughter, and she still does not want to do it. I've told her it's her decision either way, and I support what she wants. And I'm guessing maybe now at this point, we're quickly approaching 18 as well, which again changes everything. My ex's parents are both deceased, and his one sister has also passed away. He has an older brother, but they haven't communicated in decades because of the brother's drug issues. I tried to find out about him when my ex passed away, but I couldn't find anything. My ex was dead 2 full days before the police finally got in contact with me. It was a shock. I never hated him. I hated what he did. There is a difference. I guess that's the update. If there's any other questions that you guys would like me to answer, I'll be around. Feel free to ask. Thank you for your time and stay blessed. And Sam, we have one more final concluding update.
Conspiracy theory, I think that the affair partner is going to reappear and come crawling back for the money somehow.
Yeah.
Doing something crazy like steal the DNA of the kid.
Oh, yeah.
And at 18, can you legally request, can you make a legal request for DNA?
Yeah.
That might be something that happens. I don't know. Riley's about to look it up.
So basically, it's sounding like even with OP's daughter turning 18, they could still go to the courts and push for it.
Yeah.
And it is possible.
It seems like it's more possible when the daughter turns 18.
Yeah, because now it's like, okay, you're a legal adult and subject to more now, basically because of that. Tinfoil hats off. We're going to see what we got going on in this final concluding update. I talked to both my mom and my brothers before I talked to my daughter. They were also shocked, but they urged me to talk to my daughter and get her input on this situation. As I said in my first update, my daughter has been in therapy before, during, and still after the divorce. I suggested to her to talk to her therapist about this, which she did. Based on my daughter's feelings of being adamantly opposed to being involved, her therapist suggested that I give her time, and I have. My daughter is such a sweetheart, and I'm not saying this about her because she's mine, but it has been a lot for her to deal with this all at one time. I'm sure in the end, she will change her mind, but I refuse to bully her into it. It has to be 100% her own decision. So it's sounding like, as of right now, the daughter is still like, no, I don't want to do this. The mom is like, I do ultimately want her to. That is my personal opinion, but I am not going to force her into this. I'm going to let it play out and let her be an adult and make a decision on her own.
Because we could ask, is the daughter the a-hole for now refusing the paternity test?
That sounds like the real question.
Yeah, that's the real question. Let us know in the comments what you think, but we'll keep going through.
Some of you think I hate my ex-husband and I'm using this situation to get back at him. I do not. I hated what he did. That is all. My ex and I talked at least twice a week. We had disagreements, sure, like other people do. I wish he would have told me honestly. The affair long had been out of the bag. I'm not going to say I would have enjoyed hearing it, but at least we would have known. See, we're too busy living, and oftentimes we subconsciously think everything will work out for the best. If he would have told us, we could have long gotten over any of the shock or hurt or resentment, and possibly the kids could have met each other long ago. I would have known about the boy, and we all would have been better prepared for when my husband eventually passed away. Who knows? But I am no longer angry or hurt. Please believe me when I tell you that I want an amicable solution to this as much as you do. That day in the coffee shop with her, I once again reacted, but I'm human with feelings and emotions just like all of you. My ex-husband had no one else but us. As I said, he has a brother who's on drugs, who I spent weeks trying to locate, and I couldn't. I would never have let him be buried by the state because at the end of the day, we still loved him. I was married to him for 17 years. And that is the conclusion of this story.
I feel like I didn't get quite the answers that I wanted.
No, a resolution has not been reached. No. You could say like the resolution as of right now is they're not going to help the affair, baby.
Yeah. I guess that is the resolution. Yeah, I would agree with you. But we'd love to know what you think. Put your answers in the comments below. But John.
Yes.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think you should listen while I tell you this next story. My family abandoned me after I took a paternity test, and now they want back in my life. What do you think OP should do?
Oh, man, this is kind of tough. I'm guessing that the paternity test that Opie took caused a nuclear level explosion in the family.
Oh, you are actually not fully part of this family.
Yeah.
Like you're like an affair child. That's what I'm imagining.
I'm going to guess with no context, as we do every title, that OP might be better served just going off and investing in themselves, living their own life, and maybe they don't need this crazy family harassing and haranguing them. Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, what should you do?
Leave.
You should leave.
Yep.
That's
leave.
what I'm going to guess with no context.
Yep. But let's get into the story. So turns out insane says, great.
Truly.
Yeah. 4 years ago, Dad found out my mom had a lifelong affair, more than one, but that's another story.
Ouch.
He knew about a couple affairs she had in the past and forgave her for hanging in there for the kids, moving on, yada, yada. But that time, 4 years ago, he found out me and my two siblings might not be his kids, considering the time of the affair.
I forgot to add this in there. He is 18, so that was whenever he was 14.
Got it.
Okay.
Right. So he was a minor. Now he's a legal adult.
This was the first time we all heard of moms. Well, everything really. Yikes.
Ew.
So at 14, they found out their mom was slanging.
Ooh.
There was a whole DNA thing, and it turned out my siblings were my dad's, and I was not.
Oh.
Cool, right?
Oh, OP. It's tough.
So Dad leaves mom, divorces her, moves out, and guess, do you think the dad takes all the kids?
Oh, no.
Or only some particular kids?
Dad abandons OP.
Takes both my siblings with him, not me though.
Oh, OP.
Which I understand, like, you know, this is a terrible thing that this father has found out. Yeah. But in all of the stories that like this has happened and there's been a good father, the father's like, hey, I thought of you as my kid for 14 years.
Yes.
You are my child and I will treat you as such, even 100%. Though that you're not blood. So Dad, a-hole move, I think, for sure. I stay behind with mom, who hits a new low finding herself alone. And we both become pretty much outcasts as far as most of the family is concerned, which is like tough because OP only has his mom, but his mom is like, the affair is the reason all of this is happening. My older brother was particularly mean to me. We were really tight before, and the shit he did to me, I swear, had I been bigger at the time, I would have punched him hard more than once. I don't want to get into the details because I can't, since I could be recognized. But stuff happened and I got a DNA test again, and it turns the F out. DNA number 1 was messed up, and I am my dad's kid.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is a OKOP after 2,600 stories first in 26.
Because DNA tests are like 99.99% of the time right, but that's like when the test is done correctly. It could have been like a mix-up.
Yeah, bad DNA sample,
or like a clerical error where someone just mixes up test samples.
OP is the 0.01%, which, like, hey, if you multiply that by like 7 billion people,
yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yep.
Wow.
That's like 1 in 1,000 chance.
Whew, golly.
Now, I don't need legal advice on this. Grandpa is the man, always had my back. We got a lawyer and are looking to settle, but dad wants back in my life. Brother is calling and wanting to meet up and talk and shit, and I don't effing want to. I want these people out of my life. Mom already forgave everyone. She is going on a date with my dad, and I feel sick, but not my business, right? So I guess like the mom and dad are trying to fix things.
Wow.
I wish them both good effing luck, but I want none of it. Only nobody leaves me be. I keep hearing that they're family and I ought to hear them out and give them a chance or I'll regret it later. And that the only reason I won't talk to them is because I'm a teen and stupid or some other explanation. So give me some perspective, please. Do I sound unreasonable when I say thanks, but F no thanks? And there is a big, juicy double update. So there's not 1, but 2 updates.
Wow.
But John, what do you think? I want to know from all of you guys, like, what do you think? Do you think OP would be the a-hole for basically saying, I don't want anything to do with you. You abandoned me?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not the a-hole. The ball is now in OP's court. You abandoned him, right? You raised him. He did nothing wrong to you guys,
and also they were for sure the a-hole because like the what we've seen in scenarios like this where there was a good father is they're like, I thought of you as my kid for 14 years.
Yeah.
Like you are my kid.
The crazy thing is you were going to raise him to like 18 into adulthood anyways. You already had that expectation. Why not just support him until,
and he's not the one that did anything wrong to you.
He didn't do anything wrong.
He's not the one. Like you said, ball is in OP's court, can do whatever he wants.
Yes. 1,000,000%.
But I want to read some relevant comments before I get into the first update. So Hojo says, yeah, I don't really understand. If they literally grew up together, they are brothers. Why would you act rudely and hateful towards someone that has no control over something? Maybe the father had something to do with it. OP responds, I would love to answer this. After 4 years, my best guess is that he blames me for breaking up our family. Dad had no problem with mom cheating. He said it himself. He forgave her a bunch of times. The bastard kid, though, he could not forgive.
Disgusting.
So it was my fault, and my brother effing hated me for it. And now I hate him right back.
That is very helpful context. F him even more. How did he let the mom slide? And when she did all the wrong, and punished him when he did nothing. That's insane.
Yeah, agreed. And then Phobos55 says, you're 18. If your mom is pushing this shit too, start saving up, get your own place. No one needs to know the address. A new phone number is pretty easy to get to. And then OP responds, I don't live with her anymore. I've been at my grandfather's for a little while now, so living arrangements are cool.
Good.
But the phone is a great idea. And then OP is asked, is your grandpa the one that wants you to give them a chance? And OP responds, nah. Grandpa hates dad. He has this saying that goes, when a ship is going through a storm, men try to keep everyone safe and steer it clear. Rats just want to stay someplace dry.
That's fire.
Banger,
That's a
banger bar. Old man always had my effing back. A while back, he gave me Witcher 3 and a PS4 for my birthday. Older brother flipped out because my grades weren't good, so I didn't deserve it and stole the damn thing. Oh. Grandpa went over to my dad's at 11 p.m., got the thing back and said next time he'd call the cops on my brother. Grandpa and dad haven't spoken since.
Let's go, bro. Grandpa, the goat.
Grandpa's the OG. And there's one more. So OP's asked, is it all possible that the main reason they're really reaching out is the settlement? Because OP's suing because of what they did. And OP says, that's what my grandfather thinks. I don't know, because dad has enough money. He wouldn't need this. I think it can be more him not wanting me to sue him as well. Lawyer says I can, and maybe dad wants to prevent things from going there. So it could be the only reason they're being nice is to avoid a lawsuit.
Wow. Disgusting.
So bad.
Disgusting behavior.
So
unacceptable.
bad. Do you have any conspiracies for what you think the dad and the brothers are going to do?
Well, let's put on the tinfoil hats and rock our conspiracies off. Broadly speaking, I think they're going to do it by any means. They seem like just terrible people doing whatever they want to benefit themselves and whatever they believe is right.
Yeah.
So
the fact that the dad and the brother are ostracizing OP, who did nothing.
So, and defending the mom and like letting the mom have, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do by any means. A conspiracy guess, maybe forge some sort of court legal evidence of OP saying like, it's all good. I forgive you. We don't need to go through with it. Maybe forge something.
Let's get into the update and see what really happens. All right. So update 1. I've been really annoyed lately because a lot of people around me keep saying I'm a crazy teen and I'll regret it. But Grandpa made a point that I need to stop trying to decide how I'll feel in the future, because truth is, you can never know. You have to make decisions now based on the feelings and information you have now.
Love this grandpa.
Dude, this grandpa's great.
Love him.
Not based on feelings and info you might have later. Right now, I'm disgusted by my dad and my brother. I want nothing to do with them. I don't trust them. And I even think there's a chance they might be doing this / reaching out just for optics and money, which I think could be very true. Mm-hmm. If my feelings change, I will deal with that when they do. Cross the bridge when I get to it and all. I wasn't really going to post an update on this because I don't see the point. My story's kind of over, but something happened yesterday and I wanted to share. So I decided to stand by my no, I don't want to talk to them. I'll be moving to another city soon and decided to change my number. Grandpa is the only one who will be having the new one. I asked him not to share and I know he won't. He's a retired cop, so he's really badass and has zero patience for bullshit. My new number is safe. I'm just liking the grandpa more and more.
Legend. Absolute legend.
He called my mom and told her that from now on, if anyone wanted to reach me, they'd have to go through him.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson is my grandpa.
So mom showed up at his place. I've been living with him for a while and tries to talk to me, but grandpa says she has to talk to him first.
Yeah.
So he can decide whether she is allowed to talk to me or not. Lol. So mom goes insane and starts telling him that it's none of his business, that this goes between me and my dad. So my grandpa goes something like, if anybody shows up at my lawn to disturb the boy, I'll get the cops a restraining order and a shotgun.
Oh, another thing to note, this is OP's grandfather on his mom's side.
So this is, he's saying this to his daughter. Some real G stuff going on right here.
It goes on for a while until mom says, I'm not the only family grandpa has, and that by doing this, grandpa is pushing everyone away and splitting the family. He has other grandchildren. Why is he picking just one? And so on. So grandpa effing laughs and tells her that through no fault of his, this family blew up long ago, and everyone just grabbed a piece of what was left and ran for it. He looks at me and says, I'm his piece. So he's not letting go, and F it.
Hey, come on. Wow.
Dude, grandpa's saying nothing but bars.
Just this man is a living legend.
Also, I feel like everyone abandoned OP, really.
Everybody.
I mean, maybe the mom didn't as much, but like definitely the dad and the brothers. And it feels like, and it felt like grandpa's the only one who stood by while OP was just being told that he was being selfish and like a kid.
Yes.
And so, no, I think the other reason is like, no one was on OP's side. No one was in his corner. And someone had to stand up and say like, hey, I'm going to help this kid out.
I'm so happy because, I mean, this happened when he was 14. He's now 18 or whatever.
Imagine going through this alone without a grandpa.
Awful.
Oh, so
Awful.
bad.
Shout out to Grandpa.
I was feeling like laughing up to this point because mom was going crazy and all. But when he effing said that, I broke. Mom left after a while and I just hugged my old man like life depended on it. And he just said something like, enough now. No need for that. I'm your family. Family doesn't leave. You remember that when you have one of your own, and I effing will. Damn.
He's just too good.
He's just too good.
He's
like
good.
old school, like good, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Old school good.
like
yeah.
old school tough, just tough love, but like in the love part.
He's
you know?
tough,
and
but he loves. It's not even tough. Yeah, it's not even tough love.
He's tough and he loves.
He's tough for the people he loves.
Yeah.
Made me cry.
Right.
So edit, before I forget, some people were asking about what my siblings were like. Well, my older brother stole/took that was mine or supposed to be mine. He lied to me and about me. And not the innocent kid lie, but effed up shit that ruined relationships I had friends with, family, even a girlfriend I cared about. He was a huge bully for years, even hit me once. Mom said he's going through a lot too. And dad couldn't care less and just protected him. Grandpa told him if he ever hit me again, he would break brother's teeth in.
Woo!
I guess he believed him because he never touched me after the one time. Younger brother is cool. I'd rather not talk about him here. And another edit, I read the comment section to Grandpa. I had to explain what OG is. And he now wants to watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Oh.
But we thank you for all the love. I guess maybe he's giving what's
White.
the no, not Walter White. What's the guy? Mike Ehrmantraut. Yeah, he totally gives Mike Ehrmantraut. Reading the replies on my first post, he just said, the internet is very smart. Reading the replies on this update, he got a little emotional and left saying he had stuff to do. But he got a beer, came back and asked if there were more people saying stuff. The comment comparing him to Clint Eastwood made his day. Thanks for the love, guys.
I am in love with this grandpa.
Yeah, I love how he's like about to break down and like get emotional and cry. And he's like, 1 second, let me get a beer.
Now, what are the people saying?
So, update 2. It is an act of God, and I still remember the password to this throwaway. But F, guys, people, you're not going to believe this. I don't effing believe this. The lab didn't make a mistake on my results. What they did is they mixed the results of all children. I am my dad's biological son, but my older brother is not. Which is effing weird because he looks like my dad. Maybe mom has a type. Turns out it was his lab result stuff, whatever, with my name on it. He will be triple checking it now with another lab, but I mean, the settlement has a confidential disclosure clause, something on details, so I will not be speaking about this ever again, because it's damn good money. So shush. But I had to share this because effing lol. If anybody is keeping score, I now believe in karma.
Holy crap.
Bro, that paternity test clinic should be put out of business.
Please. Like,
bro, you can't be messing
you
stuff
really,
like this.
bro, you
it tears
cannot.
families apart.
You gotta 99.9. I know you gotta be 100% on top of your.
Holy moly.
What an insane twist of events.
Dude, I wonder what will happen. Like, what will the dad do when he finds out the older kid? Like, will he abandon him too?
Well, he's over 18, so he's probably on his own now.
Well, but still.
Will he emotionally abandon him, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like Harry Potter, but if his parents were alive. No, it's not anything like that.
But it's also, dude, it sounds like OP got money, like got good hush money.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it feels like everything worked out for OP. I mean, well, okay, to be clear, your family imploding is not things working out, but post-family imploding, things kind of worked out for OP.
Yeah, like the best case scenario,
in terms
given
of
the
justice.
initial
Justice was dealt that day.
Served.
Justice rained down and put that justice dong on the floor and just destroyed the world with it. Just
laid it down
and flopped it around like Godzilla.
12 inches of justice on the table.
Yeah, just freaking destroyed the town with it. Well, let us know what you think.
If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and see you tomorrow.